Welcome to the Crimson Engine. My name is Rubidium. Today we are looking at the question, if your reel is so good, why can't you find work as a DP? A couple of months ago, I was talking with someone here in LA who had just moved from New York. He has a really great reel. He's a pretty experienced cinematographer. He really shoots great work. And he asked me why, if his reel is so good, he can't find work as a cinematographer. And I wanted to talk about this because it is such a common concern that people have that start out, they want to be cinematographers, they work really, really hard to get a great reel together, and they're still not finding work. They're getting it out to people are seeing it, but they're not getting hired. And the question is why? I think this cuts to the real core of why cinematographers get hired and what cinematographers do. Not what they think they do, but what they actually do, what part of the filmmaking chain they fit within. And for me, it all really comes down to trust. A director or producer is hiring you because they trust you to deliver on the promise that they've made to the client or the studio. I want to say 85%, maybe even more, of cinematography jobs out there really only require, basic knowledge of the camera and of lighting and of grip. They are very basic 3-point lighting shoots. They don't require anything fancy. There's no big toys or steady cams. It really is just shooting people talking and making them look good. So it's not technical skill and it's not versatility that gets you hired. Directors and producers really want to buy a result, which is a good looking image with the time and the budget that they have, with the minimum amount of fuss. They're not necessarily looking for, something that looks like Roger Deakins or Chivo or Bob Richardson. They don't even know who those people are a lot of the time. They just want a solid image and they want to know that you can deliver it without, taking too long, without asking for spending more money than they have, without giving them a hard time about the resources that are available. Really, hiring comes down to trust, and trust isn't something you can get with a good show reel. Trust is something that's built over time. You really have to work on small jobs with small directors and producers, and as their career blossoms and succeeds, as they get bigger jobs because of those the result that they got, they're going to come back to you and say, hey, you were really easy to work with, you did what I said, or were able to deliver something better than we had in mind with the resources that we had. I want to work with you again. There's a director that I work with a lot, and she hires me because she likes the result that I get and I'm able to work within her budget. Not because I'm the most talented or celebrated cinematographer in Los Angeles. To be honest, I'm not really a cinematographer, but I've gone from shooting free jobs for her as a favor to $200 a day to $1,000 a day to $2,000 a day, slowly up the progression. And each time I get hired again because she now trusts me to deliver on the brief. She trusts me to deliver on what she's asking me to do. There are probably 1,000 better, more talented, more experienced. I don't even have a cinematography reel. It all comes down to personal relationships that are built over time, and they always start at the bottom. You can't build a personal relationship with someone when they're, a multi-million-dollar commercial director, unless you have also shot things of that scale. You start at the $100 music videos and work your way up. Of course, you do that with your reel as well. You have to start shooting somewhere. Just like you're building your reel, you're building your relationships with producers, with directors. You become a really easygoing person that can solve problems with them and for them. You don't become a problem on set. I've worked with some terrible cinematographers and always they have amazing reels. And then when you get on set with them, they have their own idea of how something wants to be shot. You immediately get into conflict with them. They have their own ideas about protocol and what you can do and what they can do, and they want to just fight with you they have totally their own agenda to create the best image they can for their showreel, all the while you're not getting the shots you need to tell the story with the time and the people that you have. Always regretted hiring someone just from their reel. I always want to talk to people that have worked with that person before. I always want to get a sense of what their personality is, what their approach to this is, what they think this job is. Some people think this job is making beautiful images. Maybe that's true. For most people, this job is creative problem solving, collaboration, taking that weight from the director and doing something wonderful with the resources you have, delivering on their vision for them. So if you want to work as a cinematographer, start making relationships now that will serve you in the future. Start being a go-to guy or girl that can get things done, that can make things happen, that will go above and beyond, that will create everything you can with what you have. What directors need to know is that you'll show up on time, you'll be prepared, you won't screw up the settings on the camera by having it set to the wrong frame rate or, not plugging in the audio, that you won't embarrass them in front of their client or their producer, that you won't embarrass them in front of their talent by saying something stupid, that you won't accidentally get the wrong lens mount or something and end up not shooting. And yes, all those things seem so elementary, but as someone who's hired cinematographers who have neglected to do those things, it's a huge deal when you can trust someone not to make you look bad. You need to prove to the people that are going to hire you over time that you're someone that they can depend on to do it right. And it sucks, but sometimes that means working for free. Sometimes that means working far below the rate that you need to survive. That means doing favors for people. It means calling in favors for people. If you did what you consider amazing work for somebody, something that you were really proud of visually, but the next time that person needed a cinematographer, they hired someone else, you need to ask the really hard question of, are you pursuing your agenda over theirs?